Welcome to the Future Proof podcast. My name's Jav.
My name's Michael.
And today we're going to get a little bit political. You know, we don't shy away from the politics. So Rachel Reeves, the Chancellor, has the budget coming up, and she may potentially be raising some taxes on us. And business owners, you know, we don't like tax. We don't like too much tax. But income tax is going to be rising, apparently. VAT might be rising. And we want to talk about how it's going to affect business owners specifically, because that's who we talk to, that's who we care about. Obviously, we care about people in general, but that's who we care about. And yeah, there's going to be some major factors. Before we get into it, I want to just play this video that I watched here, and I'm play this into the mic.
We will not increase tax.
And we're not going to increase the taxes that working people pay.
We can guarantee to people we're not going to put up their income tax, their national insurance, their VAT.
Mark my words, Labour will raise your taxes. It's in their DNA, your work, your car, your pension.
Thank you. Okay.
David, in its manifesto, Labour promised not to increase income tax, not to increase national insurance, and not to increase VAT.
All right, boom. Yeah. There's a reason why I played that, because obviously they came in government on that being one of their like major manifestos. They're not going to raise tax.
Yeah.
But it looks like we're going to find out in 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
I think they're going to raise tax.
Yeah.
So first question, how do you feel about more tax, bro?
But it's a tricky one, man. I think, man, tax is a hard one to kind of talk about, because it's already not the easiest in the UK. There are a lot more taxes than most countries. As a business owner, you got to. Yeah, it's already a fight, man. I think what I'll say as a whole is this year: if you make it easier to do business, if you make it more favorable for a business owner, then we'll be less annoyed by taxes. We still don't want it to go up high, but I guess it's not the highest in the world. But if you make it more favorable for a business owner, then we'll be happier to do business. But when you've got people leaving, you got crime rates, you got just the society isn't really improving in itself. There's a lot of negativity around the UK, and the biggest thing is that the fact that we're always in this state of poverty, scarcity thinking, where we're going to have to increase income. We're going to increase. What the flip are you doing with the money you already have? Do you get what I'm trying to say to you? Like, manage that money better. And I might sound naive. People are going to say X, Y, Z, but I don't believe that you're telling me that we're just spending everything absolutely in the right possible way. I don't believe that for 1 second. So I just think that, like, what are you doing with the money that we already have to make society better, to get to get us out of this state where it seems like for the past however many years, it's always a scarcity thing. There's a problem. And that's the reason why people in the UK don't want to spend. So how does you expect businesses to thrive when people are scared to spend all the time? Because that is what is the message being put out. So that's my big thing. What's your thoughts with it?
Yeah, so as I was doing research for this episode, so my understanding is that right now the government are in a 20 to 30 billion fiscal gap, which basically means that what they want to spend versus what they're bringing in, they're 20 to 30 billion pounds away from that. So that's the reason, basically. That's going to be her justification for raising all these taxes, right? My thing is, where is the money being spent?
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Like, I'm not seeing the fruits of this, because I don't have a problem. I think British people wouldn't mind spending more taxes if they felt like
the society was
reflective of what we're doing. Because an example, you know, is the amount of crime. The crime is probably one of the easiest examples, and we can speak on recent times of all the crazy stabbings, murders that's been going on. Where is the money going? Because it's not going to a better police force.
No.
If we talk about even I'll talk about South London specifically, sometimes how dirty the streets are, right? Where is the money going? Because I'm not seeing, or NHS. I broke my foot, bro. No physical therapy, nothing. Like, look, where is the money going? Is basically what
Yeah.
I have to say. So, with her saying that, with her potentially raising the taxes, and I just played the video, it would be less of a blow in my mind if I felt like, okay, you know what, public services are amazing. Like, everything's crisp. We're getting looked after. It feels like we've got a good society. Crime is low. If it felt like that, then cool. I can take it, you know. Because it's not like that, I think it's harder for British people to accept it, which is why I think people are getting more and more angry.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah, and you know what it is, man. It's hard always when you get into the political sector side of things. But I think when you say where the money is going, is that, like, look, I get it. It is not going to be cheap to run a country like you know, England or the UK as a whole. But there's a lot of private companies that are absolutely cleaning up, right? And there's a lot of private companies that are connected, very well connected, and they're just turning over like millions, hundreds of millions, billions in profit. Do you get what I mean? Like, a big boom over the last 10 years that everyone is kind of just oblivious to is parking, right, in the UK, right? So it became a play to buy a plot of land, right, make parking spaces, and now all of a sudden you're charging £3 an hour, £4 an hour, and this is just going constantly, because if there's a hospital right there and the hospital's got 10 spaces, I've got to park. If there's a school there, I've got to go park. So if we probably look into it, we can do it right now. Like, the parking companies are turning over billions, and these are just private companies that have just brought that in. Do you get what I'm trying to say to you? And a lot of times it's not even ethical.
It's definitely
what are
unethical,
they doing,
bro? All the tickets that they give out.
That's even separate. That's a separate thing, bro. That's tickets. Tickets are like, that's a man-made out of thin air thing, bro. Who decides that a ticket is £60 versus what it probably really should be, which is maybe like £20, £30? You can understand that. Do you get what I'm trying to say to you? So and that's what, pure profit? I know it's pure profit because some of those people get commission. Not always. Like, I've heard otherwise. Like, some people say they don't, but a lot of them actually get commission when they give you a ticket.
But even the concept of it is effed up. Like, I'm driving a car, I have to pay hourly to just leave my car here. That's not affecting nobody. It's not killing nobody. It's just a car on a road. Yeah. Like, the actual concept of it is mad when you think about it, and then you're fining me for being half an hour late or whatever. And let's say it's £2 an hour and I was there for 3 hours, so £6. I'm getting fined 10 times what I would have paid for just parking my car.
My car
hasn't hurt nobody, hasn't killed nobody, hasn't affected nobody. I'm not obstructing anybody.
And then if I don't pay in 14 days, it goes up to 125. And then it keeps going. A man could be dead in his house, in his flat, this has happened. You know what I'm trying to say to you? And his fine is just going up.
Yeah.
And then guess what? When they find out that he did cook, who's going to take that debt?
The family.
So that would all be a less hard pill to swallow if the money was going somewhere, bro. Yeah. What are you talking about? There's no money. Don't tell me there's no money. How much do the dark charge make per year, bro? Let's find out, bro. Let's find out right now. And there's dark charging in Manny as well. Did you know there's a dark charge in other places, bro?
Or like
I went to Manny and there's something called, literally says a dark charge. I don't know how that works because I thought
dark charge was dark charge.
Yeah. But I didn't know that. In Manny, it was a dark charge as well.
Wow.
Hold on, let's see.
But this is going to tie into what I'm about to say next.
How much profit do the dark charge make per year? Probably won't have a proper reflection on it, but let's see. Dark charge. It's got the wrong thing. So dark charge UK, right? Let's see roughly what they're making. In the year ended, this is old data, but their revenue in 2023 was 215.9 million. Okay. That was 2023, yeah?
Yeah.
Profit was about 90 million. That's 2024. That was 2024.
So they've been making 90 million.
And have you heard they've just upped the prices?
By £1, didn't it? Or something like that.
You've got all these companies, bro.
And then now they've put the toll on Blackwall Tunnel and the Silvertown Tunnel.
So what, bro? What do you mean? There's no money, bro?
They got money, man. They got
what
money.
What do you mean? There's no money?
They got money.
Like, let's be real here. When there's a war or countries in need, they found
money.
What, 100 million to hand over? What do you mean? There's no money?
And here's why this
living in this.
Here's why this affects business owners, though, because now if they do rise personal tax, consumer spending is already low. It's only going to get lower, which means for small business owners, brick and mortar places, some online places, it just kind of, it affects business owners in a way that, especially if you're B2C, like the cash flow's just going to be decreasing because people aren't spending as much money, and it just becomes a vicious cycle, right? So,
bro, don't forget what I said, yeah? This is a key point. The mentality that's being bestowed upon UK people, the energy, the feeling is always scarcity, bro. That's half of the reason why there's no one wants to spend. It's not even just because you could not have disposable income, bro, there's 101 ways to make money. That's the truth of the matter. There is 101 ways for any single person living in Britain to make, regardless of, and I will keep saying this, regardless of how they keep trying to squeeze it. The reason they even can squeeze it without, everything just turning upside down is because there is money, there is wealth in this country. Like, compare it to a third world country. There's a reason we're called a first world country. So there's money, there's opportunities, but because of the narrative being pushed out, everybody is tight. Everybody's holding on to their wallets rather than thinking in more of an abundance mentality, spending, growing, supporting businesses.
But I think it's a cultural thing as well, though. Because
there's no culture. It's the government, bro. It's the media.
The culture.
That's what I'm saying. The culture. It's the media.
Because British people are very scarcity minded, and I said it. I probably repeated myself about 50 times because I lived in America.
Yeah.
So I feel the difference when I talk to British people versus American people, and even British people in Dubai are different to British people in Britain.
But okay, so there you go.
And we're in Dubai right now.
So let's land on that point then. If that's a cultural thing, then why when they move here, it's different?
Are they different? Yeah.
Why when they move here? Because it's the end. Bro, I told you I was in Toronto the other day. Same thing, right? Western countries. I'm in the gym. They've got the news on. Why you got the news on in the gym, right? Cool. What's on the news? Oh, there's a shooting. There was a this. There was a that. It's always that either negativity or something, bad or crime or scarcity, or with money. Oh, budgets, this, turmoil. They always have to preach that message so people don't understand. And I think the benefit of America is just that the people and the infrastructure of America, even though you got one side of, the government or the media, let's say, it's probably the media more so in America. But even with a lot of people in the government, even the parties, even now Donald Trump, like him or lump him, entrepreneur, making billions himself, doing X, Y, Z. So they're never going to stop that mentality of let's make money, let's do this, let's do that. Whereas UK, we've got the negative, the media controlling, because it's the same people controlling media here that are controlling it in the US, right? But you don't have the people in government who are entrepreneurial and all the people in, the inspiration.
But also, Americans, the foundation of America is built differently to the UK, whereas America's kind of built on that freedom, land of the brave,
built
the
on
American dream. Like that's what it was built on, though. As in, like they've left Europe. You got to think about they've left Europe to conquer this land, to have this free land, to get away.
That's what I said.
No, but as in, like they're doing it because their thing is free, innit? Like they want freedom. Like that's their mentality.
Yeah.
As in, obviously, slavery and shit.
That's what I'm thinking. Like they didn't.
The country itself doesn't operate in a free way.
Kind of
but
thing.
I mean, like the white people that made that move, their mindset is freedom. The American dream. That's the mentality that they've bred, and they don't like having big government, so they don't like having government overreach. That's always been a thing. In England, it's less of a thing because England's history has been monarchy, kings and queens, ruling class, working class. Like that's always been the way that Britain is compared to the States, which then permeates into the mentality of the people in the country, which is why I think when people do leave England or Britain, they are different. They move different. They even communicate different. They're a lot more open. When they're in Britain, it's like,
It's a mentality,
let me just
bro.
keep this. Let
It's a
me
mentality,
keep this
bro.
in my pocket. Yeah, you stay over there. There's like,
It's a fear, bro. It's fear. Fear is like the most, use the word permeating, kind of contagious sort of emotion there is, right? I'll give you an example. When I first started going on holidays, I'll go somewhere and someone will say something about that place, and that could shape my whole holiday. Do you get what I'm trying to say to you? I'm in this place 7 days. I've flown, I've spent money, I'm across the world, and I'm cautious. I'm just in a resort just because of that. Until I learned that, brother, like everywhere is pretty much the same. Yeah, there's crime, but you got to do this and just have your eyes and your wits about you. And now, same thing. Look, I went Egypt, right? I was in Thailand. I was going to go to Egypt, right? And I spoke to a girl then. She was like, "Oh, you're going to Egypt? Oh, I hated it. I don't dare. Like, be careful." Da, 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 da. But because of that experience at that time, I said, "Yeah, whatever, mate." And I was just normal me, going about, cabs, moving about, like normal. And it was a fun holiday. Do you know what I mean? It was a good holiday. And I just say that to say that fear is just transferable, and that's the biggest thing they have. And all these budget cuts, look, bro, she's probably going to change things by 1%, 2, 3 to 1 to 4% in the grand scheme of things, right? Do you get what I mean? She's not going to, because they don't do it like that. It's like my gym. They up the price £1 at a time. They're never going to just kill you like that. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? But it's the fear of constantly doing it and talking about cuts, this, that, and the third, where you become inactive. You don't take action and think, "Oh, this is all bullshit what she's saying anyway, bro. It doesn't matter. I need to go and make more money irregardless."
And that's true. That is the ultimate thing. Regardless of Rachel Reeves raising taxes, one thing stays the same. You still got to be striving hard and pushing to grow your business, your self-development, your personal education. Like, you can't just think, "Oh, they're doing this now, so I can't do anything." It just means that you got to go harder.
That's what they do in the UK, boy. That's exactly what they do. I can't spend on this. I can't spend. But then they spend on this. Just the same things will always get spent on. The things that are like the emotional triggers or the comfort things: food, night outs, alcohol, clothes.
Yeah, that's true.
Bro, people spend money on clothes, jewelry, everything, but not on investing themselves, not on something for the business.
It's true. And I think that, not to
craziness,
make this some super long political podcast, but I think that there's going to be some, regardless, I think there's going to be some
revolt kind of thing.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of backlash, man, because there's a reason I played that video at the start. I think I don't believe in government anyway. I don't care who you vote in. You can vote in anybody. I don't all of them. To me, I'm fatalistic when it comes to government. I think they're all the same. They're all like, it's like, the three-headed, remember Hercules, and there's like the three-headed like devilish thing. It don't matter which one you pick, bro. They're all devils in my mind. I don't care what party it is. I don't trust any of them.
I want to give the new Jeremy Corbyn thing a chance.
But he's already getting beaten by the Green Party.
No, that's what I'm saying. I know, I'm not saying he's going to win. I don't know. But if I had my vote counted in a big way, I'd want to give him a chance. Because I know there are people who do try, but usually independent parties, and they never get there because it takes a lot to get there, bro. And it's all a cult, bro. Come on, man. Let's be very honest with it. Like, you need 300,000. Obviously I spoke to
members.
I was with I was in a talk with some Natalie Campbell, and she applied to be she was running for the mayor of London, and she spoke about needed, and she should probably be open about it. She had to take out a loan to spend like 30k on thingy on to actually just to apply. You need 300,000 signatures by specific people. It's a lot just to even get there. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, man. I if I'm being honest with you, when I look at governments and governance in general, I look at it as like a movie. Yeah, it's just a scripted movie that they're always playing out. And this part of the movie is get everyone so pissed off at Labour that they need something else. And who's the biggest thing available that's being backed and funded so much, and Elon Musk is giving them money, and all these private places are giving them money? Reform. Yeah. And then so it's exactly what you just said. You just cut off one evil for even a different type of evil. Then they come in and they fuck things up even more, you know? Or yeah, it gets deep.
Yeah. And I think what's going to happen next is we're going to see an exodus of more business owners. And I think our top talent, our brightest minds that are building businesses and building systems and infrastructure and multi-million pound companies, they're going to keep leaving. They're going to keep going to places like Dubai where they can minimize their tax. They're going to hire offshore rather than hiring in the UK. And I think that's the effect that these things have, which then actually makes the country worse.
Of course.
It doesn't actually improve the country. And I'm not saying not to tax people, but there must be a better way. There is a better way. I just think that
there's loads of better ways.
They're just not doing it. And there's a reason for that, but hey, who knows? Anyway,
who knows, man.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. A little bit different today, a little bit more political, but you know.
Let us know your thoughts, man. Educate us.
Leave a comment if you're on YouTube, please. Peace.